Hey guys, I hate doing second takes because my phone's stupid. Here, this is one-legged trapper here. Obviously, I had issues with the first video I just recorded, going over all of this stuff. We'll give you the uncut though. So, yeah, I'm not gonna make you guys watch the whole half the video upside down. So I'm gonna re-record it, but we're going over all my hunting gear. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you know a couple days ago, I went out and somehow in the middle of in the dark, I walked through a whole bush of cockleburs, or whatever they are, briars, whatever you want to call them. And so me and my daughter were got done picking them out, picking everything out there. And while we were going through it, I noticed some features on my Firstlite hunting gear that I hadn't noticed before. So it's something that it brought to attention to me is like, oh, maybe I should, like, how I layer up to go deer hunting. I know there's a million videos out there, especially on this Firstlite gear. I think they're close with their product, especially their whitetail Sanctuary series. This is their Cryptek pattern, well, now that my daughter's back, maybe she'll be my model again. But I messed up the last video, kiddo. But yeah, so we're gonna go over this. I'll kind of show you how I layer up. Some of these things, these pieces are a little bit customized because I ended up having to go get them customized because I'm an amputee, and just little features that make it a little easier for me to get in and out of the stuff. Especially because when I'm sitting in the woods, if I'm sitting from the ground, I'll generally just pop my leg off and lean it up against a tree. It makes it easier for me to move around on the ground instead of having a dead appendage just hanging out there. It's just easier to just take it off, get rid of it until I'm done for the night or morning or whatever it is. But this is pretty much, I want to lay it all out up here. But yeah, that's pretty much all of my hunting clothes that I have right now. I very rarely will add. I might add another base layer, so I have 3 base layers on. But mostly this is what I'll wear, and this will generally get me through most of the hunting seasons. I do have some backup stuff, like if I sweat through a shirt and then I'm going out hunting in the morning or in the afternoon. I go out in the morning and sweat my way out of the woods because I'm wearing all this crap. Then I'll have backups for underlayers, base layers, just some thinner stuff, some no-name brand stuff, just something like a t-shirt, a couple extra t-shirts, because that's where most of your sweat and then your stink's gonna end up being, somewhere to switch, something to switch out. But Firstlite came out and has these great base layers. Okay, you guys, if you follow Firstlite or have any of their stuff, it's great stuff. Obviously, they got their Firstlite base layer pants. These are inside out. I only got one hand, so I'm not gonna flip them. I ended up having them put a zipper in on the one side. Goes full length all the way to the ankle. Just again, that's for my personal, I need that for my leg stuff. It makes it a hell of a lot easier instead of trying to fish my foot through. That doesn't straighten out, it just sticks in a position like this. So trying to get that through a whole length of pants. But then I also have, I try to stay away from, but obviously some of the stuff I had way before Firstlite was around. A lot of my Under Armour stuff. I like the 4.0. I was using that before they came out with their base layer. This is the kiln versions. I got the warmer stuff just because it's usually October, November before I get in the woods. The 4.0. So, and then I have a hoodie. That I switch out with the Cryptek kiln, depending on the season. Earlier in the season, I'll wear this one because it's got a little more green to it. And then later in the season, like right now, where we got most of the leaves off the trees and everything, I'll switch over to this on top. The only thing I don't like about this on top is it doesn't have that front pouch that you put, like your hoodie pouch. They might have something now like that, but then obviously we got their Cryptek pants. These are nice. They're kind of windproof, a little bit of waterproof, not super waterproof, but really close to just a little bit of waterproof. Enough like going through a morning dew where it's not going to bother you as much. Then their newer Sanctuary 2.0, I think they just came out with this last year. I know I had troubles ordering it. That's why I got 2 different colors. I wanted their Sanctuary 2.0 with the cryptic hoodie or hood or jacket, but they didn't have it, so I just got their Sanctuary, their standard Sanctuary setup, and then I ended up managing to find the cryptic bibs. Now these are both down insulated. Waterproof down is some sort of new deal, and that's what we're working with. So early in the season, when we're talking 50s, 20s like we're in right now, normally I'll wear a t-shirt in, and I'll probably put my base layer pants and my top layer pants on, just because it's something not worth doing. And you don't want to mess around too much in the woods. It's easy just to throw in a couple extra hoodies. And then I'll carry these 2. I won't even carry my jacket in right now. So, but layering systems is the way to go. I've had no issues, and I love my layering systems. So right now, that's what we're looking at. This is, right now when I'm hunting, this is what I carry in. And if you guys pack in like I do, you're trying to talk minimal sweating and trying to reduce as much of that as possible, and this all fits in a backpack pretty decent, like in a medium-sized backpack. If there's a chance, like I'm going in the morning when you're starting cold and then warming up, I'll wear or carry these in. Then I put them on at the stand site. And but this, I mean, I sat out Wednesday and it was, I think, 35 degrees in the morning. I did work up quite a sweat because I just try to wear everything, because my hunting backpack right now is in the wash and it's been there. I just haven't dealt with it. I put a little one together. But I wore most of these in. I worked up a pretty good sweat on my way in. But I sat in 30 to 35 degree weather in just these and my bibs. And I was very comfortable. I started towards about an hour after daylight. I started getting a little chilly. But then I just put my hands in my pocket and it warmed me back up, or started picking more cockleburrs. But that's what we're looking at. Now when I was going through the jacket, some interesting features that they have is, you can kind of see right here, this is your normal pocket. It's got a zipper on it, which is nice. And then right here, you got this zipper here, which if any of you guys know what that zipper is designed for, that's designed for when you're in the stand. The warmest place for your hands to go, and where I like to put them, is I'll even lift up my jacket sometimes and shove them down my bibs. You guys have all done it. But that's what that's designed for, so you can gain access to the upper part of your bibs. So you can go right in the side and go right in the side of your bibs and put your hands in there and keep your hands warm. So if you're not using, like again, before you start using hand warmers, that might be a feature for you. Another thing I noticed is on the inside, right here above their big logo, is they got this pocket here. I just noticed this. I've had this jacket for 2 years and never paid attention to it, but I don't use it too often, because like I said, this is good for like 20, if you're layering, you're good for teens with this stuff. But this pocket here is a kidney warmer. And I don't know if any of you guys are old enough that back in the day they used to sell it separate, like a fanny pack that you wore backwards, that was just designed for hot pockets to put on your lower back and kidney area, where the breeze and all your ventilation, like if you have a weak point in your outfit, is usually right in the small of your back. So they put this here so you could fill it full of hand warmers, which is awesome. It's a new feature that I didn't even know they had on it. But all right, I'm gonna have Autumn be my dummy here. So yep, come stand in the driveway here. But we're gonna get you flipped around, and I'm gonna show you now to keep me out in the woods even longer. There's a few places that I like to keep hand warmers. Obviously the basics, toes and hands, everybody knows. Try to keep things as warm as possible. So I'm gonna switch you over and use her. Okay, zoom out. All right, so one place I do like to have them, because 9 out of 10 times your hands are like this because they're sitting in your pocket, right? Well, that thins up all this. All right, I like to put those toe warmers right on like the back of my elbow right here. And if you think about it, your arteries come in under your armpit, tickling her, and then come right through here. So if you can keep this area warm, when your hands are out, you don't have to worry so much. It'll keep your hands warm while they're out in the cold. All right, and do it on both sides. I wish, this is where I kind of would like to see a company like Firstlite to come in here and put zippers, like, or little pockets on the inside or something where you can put hand warmers in the back of your elbows. Because like I said, when you're sitting there in the ground blind, you got your hands in your pocket, and then when that wind's hitting here or here, that's usually a cold spot for you. And then the next place is obviously you warm up the back. If you can get something maybe in the back of your head, that would be a good spot. I know I've got a hat that has a pocket warmer. And then the next spot would be right around on your knees. If you could get one behind your knees, that'd be even better, because both your arteries run right through here. You got your in and out. So if you can keep those warm, those few spots there, if you get at least keep those plus your hands and toes, you can sit.
Those in 2 hours.
Yeah, you can sit 4 or 5 hours in 0-degree temperature and be fairly comfortable. And again, another small tip is insulating yourself from your deer stand, whether that's putting in a little bit of carpet on your platforms, getting your, I know the squirrels chew seats off, and if you're like me, you're too lazy to replace them. So even just carrying in an extra foam seat, having one in your backpack, if anything, it braces your back against all the other crap that's in there, your rattling antlers and stuff like that. But these are just little tips I use to keep warm out there in the stand. Is layering. You got the layering, then you got your hand warmers. Okay, now on my feet, what I generally tend to use is I've got a pair of some redhead cheap $30 pair of insulated boots. I put a toe warmer on the top side, like they're designed, like they kind of look like that, your toe warmers. I turn them sideways and put them across all my toes, and then I put them under all my toes. So yeah, I go through a lot of toe warmers on my feet, but my feet don't get cold anymore. And then I'll wear a pair of a little bit warmer, thicker knee-high cotton socks, and then I'll wear a thicker pair of wool socks. But in between those is where my toe warmers is. So cotton, toe warmers, wool. Then your boots. And if you walk in, you're good for 4 hours. If you're walking a long way, I recommend keeping your toe warmers in your pocket until you get to the stand, and only wearing your boots and your cotton socks into the stand. This way, I know some of the trips that I was walking 3/4 to a mile in, my feet would end up sweating by the time I get up there to where I'm at. And you don't want wet feet in the deer stand. That's the quickest way to get out of the woods, because your feet are wet. And that's where the wool socks kind of come in, is they kind of, if you do manage to sweat a little bit, but it's more stuff you're carrying in your backpack and more movement you're doing in the woods. So you got to figure out what's going to work for your situations. Me, I generally try to pack in as much as I can and get dressed in the woods. So I might just have a pair of scent-proofed shorts and a t-shirt that I'm hiking in with, and everything else is in my backpack. It sucks, makes the backpack a lot heavier, but I'm not sweating when I get in the stand. Or if I'm sweating, it's minimal sweating, and I'm not getting all my good hunting clothes sweaty. So again, your area, your places that you hunt, and how you get to their stuff. If you drive right on up to it, great. If you only have to walk 20 yards out your back door and sit in your deer stand, even better. Wear everything you have, walk 20 yards, and take an hour to walk 20 yards. But if you're like a lot of us, we work after work. I'm not working right now, but I'm trying to. Right after work, I'm trying to get out. Okay, well, I'm just gonna run to the deer stand. You might only have an hour or two. Then it's literally, you don't have to worry about it. It's worth suffering. You can suffer being cold for an hour or two after work. But if you're sitting all day, you want to be comfortable. You want to get in there not sweating. You want to be able to layer yourself up to sit there all day and to have those options like, ooh, it just dropped 10 degrees. Let me put on another layer. All right, or try to, like I said, watch your weather forecast hourly and see, okay, today I have, at this time today I have to, before that, like, okay, at 6 o'clock it gets dark at 7, it's going to drop 10 degrees. Well, 2 hours before that, I know it's there, my body temperature is comfortable, I'm not cold yet, I might as well put that layer on now. The deer aren't moving for another hour, and why not, right? You're warm, you might as well insulate your body while it's warm before it gets cold. So again, look in your area, how you hunt. You guys have probably done it long enough, but for some of you newer guys, layering systems work great. I mean, just it's amazing the difference. Like I said, on a 35-degree day, my top will be a t-shirt, my Under Armour 4.0, my kiln, and a hoodie. That's all I wear on the top. I mean, yeah, it's a lot, but it's better than it used to be. I mean, you'd be wearing a jacket too already, and this is 20 degrees. And then on base layer, I'm wearing a base layer on my bottoms. I'm wearing a base layer of my kiln, windproof pants, and my bibs. The bibs get rid of a lot of extra layers that you don't need. I like keeping everything tight on the top because I'm an archery hunter. So just something to keep in mind, guys. I'll try to keep it short, but I'm sorry this is a second video I did, but you guys didn't even get to see the first one, so I'm saving you a lot of headaches because there was a lot of rotating and shit. So, anywho, alright guys, well I hope this helps somebody. Again, elbows, armpits, I mean wherever you could put hot hands, if you're cold, I put them everywhere. I mean, this might help some of you Canadian guys out there. I see them walking around like Stay Puft Marshmallows, but they're hunting negative 20-something degrees. Yeah. So, alright guys, good luck out in the woods, and if you're trapping, good luck. Tight chains. I know we start next weekend, so I'm hoping to get my deer shot here in the next couple days. If not, I'm going to hit it really, really hard next week. Trying to get them before they hit that pre-lock. And I think the next couple days, this weekend, is going to be good. I know the moon phase is a little off. But anyhow, we're going to hopefully get our deer shot here in the next couple days. And then get to trapping. I picked up a lot of ground, and still I got ground rolling in.
What did you say?
So it's a lot of, yeah, we're getting ready to kick off the busy season. But yeah, we're ready to trap. So this is One-Legged Trapper out. My daughter out. Thanks for being my model. And we'll see you guys in the next video.